Good morning and welcome to this session of the live coaching classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the academic section of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Friends, today we are going to take up an entirely new topic, right? Just give me 1 minute. I will sign into our query pad. I don't know why I've been sent out again. Just give me 1 minute. Wow. Nice to see all of you guys here. Hitesh again, Ms. Janvi, Ankit is here. I mean, I know these people are those who put in a good morning message here. Mantanjali, Poonam Sharma, Memon Rafiq Boy, welcome madam. Ankit Gupta, right? Mahadev Bharadwaj. And where is Pooja? Yeah, Pooja is normally there and she is the maximum number of questions. So not seeing a good morning message from her. And no problem. If you're there, just give a message. Today, we are going to see an entirely new topic called management and administration. Now, for a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, this knowledge is peripheral. Where peripheral means outer, not core, okay, non-core. But you should be aware of how the meetings of a company are conducted, what are the mechanics of a meeting, the legal principles involved in calling members. Therefore, we should know this, right? But then the actual job, I make this point very carefully because you shouldn't think that this is so important that you will be engaged in this. I hope you are not. You are an auditor or you're going to be a CFO, you're going to be engaged in. But this entire thing would be the subject matter of a group of people called company secretaries. Possibly the company where you are going to work will have its own team of company secretaries or a company secretary, at least unless you yourself become one and become a CFO company secretary, though that's not allowed under this law, or VP finance director of finance company secretary, whatever. The point here is a suggestion, don't do that. But if you are, still it would be better that you hire a company secretary to do this job, right? 1. 2, just as we've got accounting standards and Indian accounting standards, these guys, these secretaries have also been given something called the secretarial standards. They've evolved it over a period of time. I had a good fortune to be part of some of these early exercises of drafting the secretarial standards. And some of these standards, like our accounting standards, are mandatory. Means this Ministry of Corporate Affairs has made them mandatory. So, more about it. Then the point is sometimes, they will make a big issue about it being a mandatory standard and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm getting out of this, query pad. Suddenly it's getting me out of the query pad and stuff like that. Yeah. This topic, when I used to write a book on company law for the final exam, it was in the final syllabus. And it used to be called meetings and proceedings. Now they've rechristened it as management and administration. Chapter 7 of the Companies Act. It has its own accompanying rules, the Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014. So when, as a student of company law, never forget, you cannot read a section of the Act without knowing that whether there is a rule or not, because most of the important points would be in the rule. Or they would do it superbly in such a way that they mix it between the rules and the section. See, earlier, they were very clear. Either they put it in the section, in which case they had no need for a rule, or they put it in the rule and then the section said, that is as per prescribed, you go there. Now what they do, portion of the law will be here, portion of the law will be there. So we'll be seeing that. As and when rules are mentioned, remember, they are from the Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014. But of course, if there are other rules being cited, which I will be doing here, the reference to those rules would be given as to which rule we are using. Okay. So this topic itself, the chapter 7, I would like to divide it into two parts: meetings and related matters. Meetings and related matters. In fact, 96 to 122, but again, 96 to 100 deal with meetings, the types of meetings, rules relating to those meetings, etc., etc. 101 onwards, notice and onwards, it deals with the mechanics of a meeting, the ingredients needed for a valid meeting. So these are rules. So what I'm going to do this time, in this session, is I'm going to take up 96 to 100 first. I'm going to introduce you to the meetings, the types of meetings, and the rules, basic rules relating to each type of meeting. And then only I'm going to go into 101 and onwards. Though in your institute material, as usual, they would have started at 88 and gone up to 122. I'm not doing that. So in case you have a problem, please remember this. I am not starting at the beginning. I'm going to start somewhere at the end of your material. If you go to the end of your institute material, you'll find 96, annual general meeting and all. I'm going to start there. Why I'm doing it? Because I feel logically that's how it has to be done. And that's how I have been teaching always. Though my guru is of the view that you should start with 101 to 122, then introduce to AGM, EGM. But I humbly suggest that, we'll do this. And in case you have, see, I may use a few words here and there, like quorum or proxy or something like that, but then that's not a problem. I'm going to explain it anyway in the next class, so not a big deal. So better to get the names of those meetings behind us. Then, of course, there's a whole lot of boring stuff, 88 to 95, which is registers and returns. But I will also try to make it relevant to you, why these registers are needed, inspection of these registers, taking copies and all that, etc., etc., and make you understand. Once you understand this, you will understand that in future, when you are auditing a company, these registers and returns are going to be very important. And some of these registers and returns, in fact, we certify in CARO that one of these registers is being maintained. The register of loans and guarantees given to related parties, we certify it as to whether it's being maintained and stuff like that. In fact, when you come to final, those three sections are going to be really important for you as a chartered accountant. 185, 186, 188. So very, very important. For entire company said for CA, these three sections and acceptance and deposits. That's it. If you know these sections well, you can go on with your life. The rest of it is just call a company secretary, do this, kaam karo, jao. So as simple as that. But still, as a full-fledged professional, it is important for you to know. I've already, I think, made this point ad nauseum. I'm sorry if I'm repeating it to you. Right. So, different kinds of meeting. There are many different kinds of meeting. So, let us understand. Why do people meet at all? Let's go to the root of meetings. Human beings are the only set of species, I would say, that have meetings. When crows come together, they are not meeting, they are flocking. Okay? When you see a group of female elephants with small kids moving around, they are a herd. They are not a meeting. Or even when they come together at a water hole, the purpose is not to meet, but to drink water and go individually. Right? So only species that has the concept of meetings is Homo sapiens. Why did we at all meet? Right? Go back to our atavistic tribal roots. Why did a tribe ever meet? Okay? To take a decision. Take a decision or to make an important announcement. Okay? Right? Lion King, there's a huge meeting of the animals. That's again an animation movie where Disney tries to give human feelings and emotions to animals. So, even then, why did they meet? To make the announcement about the birth of a new king. So, we meet to take decisions. Today, corporates or corporate meetings are meant for taking decision. Normally, but then believe me, I've attended n number of corporate meetings as an auditor, as a consultant, as a trainer, as a coach, okay, whatever. I've rarely found a decision emerging from the meeting. What happens is everybody talks and everybody confuses and everybody misunderstands. Finally, decision. And at the end of the exercise, a consultant like me or some one or two senior employees would be consulted by the managing director or the CEO, and the decision is taken by him. Okay, we give him the input. But then why did they have the meeting? We have to have a meeting first. That's all. Anyway, that is not the point. But companies, statutorily, up to now I am talking about non-statutory meeting. Similarly, for example, today afternoon I'll be attending my Rotary meeting, the meeting of my Rotary club. Now that meeting, what do we do there? We don't pass resolutions. We just come there, have a lunch, sit down, listen to some speaker, talk about some things, maybe talk about charity projects, what we are going to do. Maybe a few decisions will be taken at that meeting. But statutorily, we will meet only once in a year as a club. That is at the annual general meeting. That is a statutory meeting where rules are applicable, where the way the meeting is called and conducted is controlled by a law. These are called statutory meetings. Now, the statute we are studying is the Companies Act 2013. Under this statute, there are certain meetings to be conducted. What is the purpose? If you have a meeting, at the end of that meeting, there should be a decision. In the company law language, we don't call it a decision. We call it a resolution. That's all. Resolutions. So we've been using the word, ordinary resolution, special resolution. It's nothing but products of meetings. The product of a meeting is a resolution. Depending on the required majority, whether it's a simple majority or a special majority, we call them ordinary and special resolutions. Basically, the resolution is a decision. The company is an artificial person. It has no brain to think. It has no soul to be damned. So how do you say the company has done something, that the company has taken a decision? That is known only by the resolution passed at a meeting. So if the banker wants to know if the company has approved that loan, no, he can't go to every member and ask them, yeah. So instead he says, please produce the copy of your resolution. So that is a documented record of a meeting held by this company where all members need not come. As again, members attend, the required majority of them have agreed to the resolution. Thereafter, the resolution is said to be passed. That means the company has decided to do this. It's documented, recorded. So that is the whole purpose and point of a meeting. Under the Companies Act, the purpose and point of a meeting is to pass a resolution. Got it? These are general meetings of members. So these are members ka meeting. When you call them members, and if you want the company to take a decision, then you have to call them members. Okay? But for the day-to-day management of the company, we have entrusted the management of the company to a group of people called board of directors. Correct? So there is a dichotomy. There is a separation between the ownership and management. Now this management group also needs to operate within a framework, and any decision taken by them cannot be arbitrary. So it has to be documented, and that decision should be taken at a meeting of the board in many cases. Of course, the board in turn may delegate its power to a gentleman called the managing director, and within that framework he can take independent decisions. But when it is beyond the control of the managing director, the act is very clear. When you come to final, you will see more about board meetings where the powers of the MD, if it is going to exceed, then he has to call a board meeting and he has to inform all the directors, and then a resolution may be passed whether to do it or not. So that is a board resolution, not BORED, board. No, BOARD, board resolution. The resolution passed at the general meeting is a resolution, maybe ordinary, maybe special. Then you have other stakeholders. For example, the preference shareholders, the lenders. See, normally when we speak about general meetings, we speak about equity shareholders, equity. But as you well know, preference shareholders can also vote at meetings under certain circumstances. Or they may have a meeting of their own where only their interest affected, equity is not affected, the preference shareholders may have a meeting of their own. The differential voting rights walas may have a meeting of their own. The creditors may have a meeting of their own. In some peculiar circumstances, the tribunal may direct that a meeting of the creditors should be held to know their collective view, especially when there is a reduction of capital. Do you remember? So when the company is going to reduce its capital, our friends may have a view. Of course, you can get NOC from all of them, finish it. But if that is not done, there is a lot of dispute. Some creditors are objecting very strongly. Then the tribunal will tell, hello, come here, hold a meeting of the creditors. Let them pass a resolution and tell us. If majority of them agree, then sorry, the rest of you follow suit. So these meetings are called class meetings. Class, they are a class of securities, right? Yeah, one of the major classes I forgot. The debenture holders, they are a class. They can have their own meeting. For example, appointing a debenture trustee. They will call a meeting and appoint. Right? So on and so forth. So the board may select a debenture trustee, but then they will call a meeting of the debenture holders, inform them. So and so is going to be the trustee. Are you guys okay? Pass a resolution. Because the minute you pass a resolution, and later on we will be seeing minutes, which is going to be very important. And you have the properly prepared, documented, signed minutes, that is an evidence in a court of law. So in a way, it protects the MD and the board. So tomorrow, when their actions may be questioned in a tribunal or court, one of the major ways they can protect themselves is to say, hey, we didn't take this decision, boss. We called a meeting of the shareholders and those donkeys said, yes, do it, and we did it. Proof. Here is the minutes of the meeting, sir. Duly, etc., etc. We'll see that when we come to minutes. All I'm trying to do here, friends, is to help you to understand why meetings and at the end of the meeting, what is excess. Now, when I go to general meetings, I can further divide them. And as I already mentioned to you, we will deal with general meetings and related matters first, before we go to the purely procedural stuff relating to registers and returns, right? So, yeah. There are two types of general meetings. Annual general meeting, I'm sure you heard of it a lot, and extraordinary general meetings. Annual general meeting and extraordinary general meetings. Mantanjali is asking a question. Let me go back and explain before I proceed. See, there are two categories of peoples, Mantanjali. One is members, shareholders. So when you hold a meeting of the members or shareholders, it is called general meeting. Now there is another group of people called board of directors. If you're not listened to your preliminary, they spoke about MD, director and all that. No, directors need not be a member. Directors are management. They run the day-to-day affairs of the company. They have to take decisions now. When they meet, it is called board meeting. Okay. So meeting of the directors is called board meetings. Meeting of the members is called general meeting. Have you understood? If you have, put in a saying, yes, I have understood. It's fairly simple. I think by now you are clear. So as I said, there are two types of meetings, general meetings. You have, Pooja is here, I think. See, I see a Shri Guru Bhyo Namah. Thank you. So going on, you have the annual general meeting and you have the extraordinary general meeting. Don't worry, it is extraordinary general meeting doesn't do anything extraordinary. The annual general meeting transacts routine stuff. Approval of accounts, right? Appointment of retiring, reappointment of retiring directors, appointment of auditors for once in 5 years nowadays, and stuff like that. Approval of the annual report, blah, blah, blah. Routine, declaring a dividend. So these are all ordinary stuff. But when you want to do it, you do it when at an annual general meeting. But sometimes there may be other stuff. In the middle of the year, you might want to pass a resolution for some purpose. Maybe the company is going for a huge borrowing. So along with that, they are issuing bonus shares, right shares, all sorts of stuff is happening. So we need an approval of the shareholders by way of various special resolutions need to be passed. So I need not wait till the annual general meeting. I can hold a extraordinary general meeting, which is done anytime. Whenever you need, you have. Good. Now, we move to annual general meeting. That is, every company, but then they qualify and say other than a one-person company. shall in each year hold, in addition to any other meetings, a general meeting as its annual general meeting. This will be abbreviated as AGM. AGM, sometimes in some corporates, AGM is Assistant General Manager. DGM is Deputy General Manager, so on and so forth, till General Manager and all that. So some of you who join large corporates may start with the Assistant Manager, the designation, and then you'll go on and on and on till Director of Finance, CFO, then Director of Finance, CFO. That's it. That's the highest level you can go in finance. Okay, CEO. If you're aspiring for CEO, then that's a few of our members are CEOs. You can go to Google and find out how many chartered accountants have become CEOs. One famous chartered accountant from the southern region, who was the CEO of an automobile company for a long time. In fact, till he became older, the group never asked him to go. Finally, he said, I will become chairman emeritus, and somebody else came on his place. This gentleman is Mr. Sai, a famous chartered accountant. You should all be proud of him, a role model to many of you, because Mr. Sai joined Ashok Leyland Limited as an assistant manager internal audit. And he stayed with this company throughout his life till he sort of not retired. He's still there, very much available in Hinduja Group. But he continued in this company till he became CEO. Can you imagine? A chartered accountant and a cost accountant, of course. And I'm sure he's a company secretary. He became a CEO of an automobile, not an IT company or a process company, BPO. This is a core automobile manufacturing company. They manufacture trucks, Ashok Leyland trucks. This guy, Mr. Seshasai, became the CEO. Sorry, this is useless, but still, it could be inspirational to some of you who want to become, you emulate Mr. Seshasai as your role model in case you want to be in corporate service. So here is a man who grew in a single organization, went on to become the CEO, not CFO, CEO. Okay, yeah. See, your company may not hold even one EGM in a year. There is no compulsion. If you want, you can hold. But annual general meeting compulsory. Every company shall in each year hold, in addition to any other meetings, which you may or may not have as its annual general meeting. See, you will hold an EGM only when you need it. It's like I told you, the enabling provision. It is there. Why will you call an EGM? Because you want the members to come and pass a resolution. Again and again, I'm telling you, the purpose of calling meeting is not to give these fellows cashew nut pakoda and coffee. No. But to explain the point to them and say, boss, we are planning to do this. For that, you donkeys have to agree. So here we have the resolution. How many of you for? That's all. Yes, all of you for. Then chalo, get out, have your cashew nut pakoda, have your coffee, go home, do your work. Because I am the directors. We are the board. We will take care. But for this matter, we can't do on our own. We need your approval. That approval is given at a general meeting by the members by passing a resolution. Friends, if you understand this principle, the entire topic will become simple. But if you don't understand this principle, start in the first page of our institute material, start mugging up, definitely you will get confusion. I'm not blaming the institute material. So the institute material has a simple policy of going by the section order. Absolutely okay. That is the view that they took. But as a teacher, I am going to be a little flexible here. And because unless you understand why meeting, what meeting, simply starting with registers and returns, I don't think it's a good idea. Not even if I go to notice now, say 101 and I start, a lot of problem. Let us understand what are the types of meetings why. So one important principle I am able to understand is there should be definitely one annual general meeting every year for every company other than OPC. OPC, obviously, one person was. See, the whole purpose of AGM is the directors have run this company for 1 year. Means from 1/4 to 31/3. Financially, they have performed. Other issues are also there. CSR, what they have done. Also, many things. What are the prospects of this company? How does it? In fact, some of the famous companies, the chairman, that AGM only he'll give the chairman speech. Not all companies, but some famous companies and some famous chairman. Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani's speech, Mr. Ratan Tata's speech, Mr. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway annual general meeting is held in Omaha in US. It's not an Indian company. I'm merely giving it as an example. Don't confuse. Don't say, sir, American company. The point is, Across the world, this AGM is a standard feature. They have different rule, we have different rule. Don't compare like that, get confused. But annual general meeting is held where the annual general meeting of Berkshire Hathaway is a famous event, not in US, the world over. Everybody will be eagerly waiting for the publication of Warren Buffett's chairman's speech, where Warren Buffett will not only talk about his company and its subsidiaries and tell them what they have done, how they have made money. In fact, recently he lost a lot of money in airlines. Last year, I think, he lost a lot of money in airlines. He came openly and said, I made a mistake, sorry. That's all. What guts, no? I made a mistake, sorry. That's all, matter over. And he explained why. And said, we won't make this mistake again, my dear friends. That's all. Point is, this is an opportunity for the management, the chairman, the MD, and the other directors to give an account of their performance to the members whose money only they are using. So, and where the company has huge shareholding, number of shareholders, and bank loans and debentures, an element of public interest is involved. So the proceedings of the AGM of a listed company are public information. That's why Dhirubhai Ambani's speech in those days, Mukesh's speech, Rahul Bajaj's speech, these are all becoming very interesting and important. Because when Rahul Bajaj speaks, he's not only speaking about his company, Bajaj Automotives, he is also speaking about two-wheeler industry in general, about industry, economy in general, what he thinks will happen. We're interested in knowing about it. Okay, as usual, I'm giving you a lot of stuff that's not directly related to the topic, but relevant for you to understand it in the true spirit, rather than, blindly mug up from a textbook or a note, etc. Notes, etc. So this AGM is compulsory. EGM, not compulsory. EGM, not compulsory. When will you hold it? When you go to toilet, yeah. Every day, compulsory? No, there's nothing. If you want to go. It is available. Please use the facility. That's all. EGM, you can, when you want, you go like that. Okay. If you want to pass a resolution, hold it. So a company may hold any number of EGMs in a year, but definitely it should have one annual general meeting. The notice means the document, the letter that you send to inform the company members about this meeting shall specify that this is an AGM. The meeting shall be specified. So the members should know, hey, this is important. This is an annual event. I should go. But okay, having said that, nobody comes. I'll talk about it more later when you come to meetings. Simply because members are interested in only one line item in that notice. Am I getting dividend? How much? That's all. After that, they keep going. Okay. Later on, when we come to postal ballot and all, I'll explain this to you in detail. Thus, AGM is compulsory for all companies except OPC and is an annual feature. Every year, a company should have one annual general meeting. Okay. So there are 3 rules relating to annual general meetings that you need to understand. There are 3 rules, very important rules. Okay. Yeah. So please remember these 3 rules, if possible, in this. Why is it not compulsory for OPC? I thought the reasoning was obvious. Now, he is a single man. There is no dichotomy between management and thing. So they have decided not to have for an OPC, but still he has to file the annual return and all that. But there are a lot of concessions. See, OPC is basically me running my business using the corporate form of organization. So they feel there is no need for this annual accounting thing. Is the point. So that is how I'm able to understand this concept. Okay. So, but if you still feel OPC should also have an AGM every year, please. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs is always open for suggestions. Send a mail across to them, and I'm sure they will amend the raw, or simply they will make a new rule. That's all. They will amend one of the rules and say OPC also. So here they will say no, there they will say yes. Like they are capable of doing all things. According to me, they are right, because hey, one person company means you should have one-man meeting here. One man will come. It's possible. I will explain to you more about one-man meeting. So they don't want to do that fast, right? They simply do away with it and say no need. Can we say this is a concession given to the one-person company? Many concessions are there. Later on, we will come to section 122, which will exempt many of these meeting provisions for companies, OPCs. OPCs will be exempted. So take it that OPC, being a single person running the company, will be given a lot of concessions One of which is no need for a compulsory AGM every year. Okay. Though, okay, if I tell this to you, you'll get confused. I will not do it. OPC, no AGM. Okay. Now come to rules relating to AGM. Rules relating to annual general meeting. 3 important rules. Remember them well. If you are attending this lecture or you are listening to this lecture on a video, friends, this topic, the crux of this topic is learned now. In the next 3 to 4 minutes, you listen to me and you take it into your head. You don't have to read again here. First rule, and remember these 3 rules. First rule, the gap between 2 AGMs should not exceed 15 months. Means, if I hold a meeting this year in July, on July 25th, then I have 15 months to hold my next AGM. Month again you have to count, 25th, na? So 24th. So you count 15 months. I'm not going to do that for you. So July, let us say I'm holding my AGM in July, on July 25th. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 15 months. Got it? From this date, I can hold within 15 months. Got it? They are giving that opportunity. Again, the AGM should be held within a period of 6 months from the date of closing of the financial year. AGM to be held within a period of 6 months from the date of closing of the financial year. So, in India, I have not taught this to you. We will be coming to it later when we come to accounts, when we will talk about financial year. But since this word is used here, quickly, for the purpose of the Companies Act, the financial year is the year beginning on the 1st of April and ending on the 31st of March. All companies have to follow the uniform financial year, with a few exceptions like foreign subsidiaries, holding company of subsidiary and all that, foreign subsidiary and all that. We'll talk about that when we come to financial year. But for those small exceptions, Indian company, all companies incorporated under this act, the financial year for Companies Act is April 1st to March 31st. On 31st of March 2022, all companies have to close. And within 6 months from that date, the annual general meeting should be held, which would be what? April, May, June, July, August, September. So September 30th becomes some sort of an important deadline for all these fellows. Now, you can also extend the previous year itself. And suppose you want to hold an AGM beyond 15 months, you can do that. But basic rule, the gap between 2 AGMs should not exceed 15 months. AGM should be held within a period of 6 months from the date of closing of the financial year. AGM shall be held once in every year. 3 important rules. So, beyond 31st December, you cannot postpone an AGM. If you had a meeting in July, whatever you do, extending time, extending previous year, anything you try to do, extending financial year, anything you try to do, the top limit is 31/12. Why? Because there should be one AGM in every year. So these are 3 rules. All the 3 have to be simultaneously complied. For example, July 25th. So we found that 15 months I can go on up to October. But 6 months ka rule is there now. I have to hold it within 6 months. Okay. Right. Now, that 6 months becomes relevant for me, right? So the registrar may, for any special reason, extend the time within which any AGM shall be held, other than the first annual general meeting. The first annual general meeting, we are going to see different provisions. The first one means the company is incorporated now. After incorporation, there will be one first financial year now. With respect to that first financial year, they have to hold one AGM, right? That AGM cannot be extended. The time for holding that AGM cannot be extended. But any other subsequent AGM, the ROC can extend the time. But that extension cannot be for more than 3 months. For example, most companies go to the ROC, registrar of companies. So they go to the ROC or registrar because accounts are not audited. Accounts are not yet ready, sir. Please, sir, auditing is going on. We are not able to hold the AGM on that day. So they will extend it. Up to 3 months, he can extend it for valid reasons. That is the discretionary power of the registrar. Okay, so gap between two AGMs not to exceed 15 months, AGM to be held within a period of 6 months from the date of closing of the financial year, which is 31st March, the AGM shall be held once in every year. Within these three rules only you have to operate. Right? Later on, see, unless you also have knowledge about financial year, etc., and extension and all that, this topic is not a standalone topic. 96 alone, no. You should combine it with, I forget the section here, 133, 126 or I don't know. Where financial year. Financial year also is equally because the annual general meeting is linked to closure of the financial year accounts audit. Because at the AGM, one of the important things we are going to do is to approve the financial statement, balance sheet and all, which is prepared up to the 31st of March or that, the financial year. If so, this becomes very important. Therefore, you have to, once you come there, don't read it as a separate silo topic. Since I think I am conducting that topic also in July or something. If I am doing it, I will again repeat. At that time, you should be aware that AGM should be, the gap between two AGM not to exceed 15 months. AGM to be held within a period of 6 months. AGM shall be held once in every year. Registrar can extend it for 3 months. Up to 3 months, he can extend it. That 15 months or 6 months can be extended up to 3 months. But this cannot be done for the first AGM. So you should be clear about this. Got it? That's all. This one slide, put it into your head. You are become confident. Don't operate from fear. Operate from confidence. Beautiful. Now we go to the first AGM. For the first AGM, separate provisions are there. First AGM means after the incorporation of the AGM held by the company immediately after incorporation. So if a company was incorporated, say today, its first AGM would be held next year, right? So the first AGM of the company, I don't know next year or not, we'll see. The first AGM of the company should be held within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. Friends, think about it. The 15 months rule cannot be applied to the first AGM. The gap between two AGMs, 15 months, cannot be applied. Why? Because where is the previous AGM? This is the first AGM. So, chalo. The AGM to be held within 6 months, they are giving a concession. They are saying, first AGM, you hold it within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. Right? So, this is a concession they give. Got it? Normal year, other than first AGM, 6 months from the end of the financial year. So, if your 31st March means 30th September, you can't go beyond that unless you go to the registrar, get some time, game, fall at dispute. 3 months, he can extend it. Got it? So, 9 months you have from the closure of the first financial year. Right? Where a company holds its first AGM as aforesaid, means 9 months from the closing of the first financial year, it shall not be necessary for the company to hold any AGM in the year of its incorporation. See, because the third rule, AGM shall be held once in every year. So, company was incorporated in this year. So, in this year, I should hold one AGM, normally. But they say no. Where you are holding your first AGM within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year, it shall not be necessary for the company to hold any AGM in the year of its incorporation. So, in a way, this is an exemption for the third rule, to hold one AGM every year. So, in a way, first AGM is an exception to these three rules. You can hold it within 9 months from the closing of the financial year. 15 months rule cannot apply. Okay. And closure of the financial year, you got 9 months. In case you're holding it within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year, you need not have an AGM in the year of incorporation. Friends, this point cannot apply to all companies. It will apply to only one category of companies. Sir, extension is very simple, sir. You are supposed to hold your meeting on 30th of September. 30th of September. So, madam. You are going to hold you have to hold your meeting on 30th of September. Why? Because 6 months from the close of the financial year, your accounts are not ready. Your multinational firm has not completed the audit. Therefore, you can't hold. If you hold the AGM and say accounts are, that further provision is there. When the accounts are not ready, then again adjourn. So you go to the ROC and tell him, fall at his feet and sashtangam with the company secretary. You go. You don't do it. You as a CFO don't do it. If you want to go with the company, take the company secretary. That fellow is the better guy for this. Take him or hire a PCS. He will do it for you. Personal practicing company secretary. He will go there. He will talk to the ROC and tell him, sir, there's a problem and all, and they will extend it. So the ROC will say, okay, I will extend the period. Instead of 30th September, you hold it by, he will say 31st October. You will again beg, no, sir, December. No. 31st October. Over. No, sir, please, sir. Then 30th November. So that power is there for him to extend it beyond the actual due date. Got it? See, suppose I am holding it on the 27th of September, then I have time for 15 months from that day. But I cannot keep pushing it so that I should hold one AGM in every year. Okay? Got it? First AGM is an exception to the general rule. For first AGM, no extension of time. It has to be held within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. No, beyond 15 months you can go, Pooja. See, the ROC has the power to push beyond 15 months. Another 3 months, 18 months you can go. This is very interesting. When you come to financial year, you will understand how you can combine and you can keep on pushing it. But the maximum you can push is 31-12, logic. Why? Because you have to hold one AGM in every year. Okay, so 15 months is not inclusive. Beyond 15 months you can go. You can go beyond 15 months. But usually the 6 months only will be violated faster. So they will want for that only. So when they extend the 3 months, it can go beyond 15 months also. To answer your question. Yes, first AGM, the 2 rules will not apply. Yes. The AGM shall be held once in every year. Will not apply to certain companies. 6 months rule has become 9 months rule. 15 months rule will not apply. We cannot apply. I won't say will not apply. Cannot apply. Because where is the earlier AGM to count 15 months? So logically it won't apply. You don't need some authority to tell you. Your own intelligence can tell you that 15 months rule cannot be applied. Okay. Acharyat padamadatte. Padam sishya swamedhya. Padam sabbrahmacharibihi. Padam kalakramenacha. 1/4 of your learning comes from me. 1/4 only comes from me, the teacher. 1/4 comes from sishya swamedhya, your own intelligence, which many of you are decided not to use. Like, that Sahasra Buddhi will tell in 3 Idiots, very beautifully. Beautiful brains, never used. Always waiting for the teacher to come and teach. Till then, they won't do. And Padam, Sabbrahmacharibi. See, some of these intelligent students, like Prabhas Jain or Madhanjali or Pooja, they keep putting up their views. I make a mistake, they correct me. All this becomes learning for you. Sabbrahmacharbi. Finally, Padam Kala Kramenacha. It won't happen overnight. You need time. That's why we practice. We are not, 57-year-old man still calls himself practicing chartered accountant. I'm still practicing. I'm still learning. So, Kala Kramenacha. Once. Beautiful. First AGM, you got the concept, right? AGM should be held once or at least once. Hey, only once. Why are you holding? Madam, you will hold 2 times, is it? No need. Okay, to answer your question. What question? Beautiful questions you are asking. AGM should be held once. Once only, not at least once. You cannot have 2 AGMs. Only 1 AGM in 1 year. And it should be held. There should be 1 AGM in every year. And every year there should be only 1 AGM. Have I answered your question, madam? There should be 1 AGM in every year. And AGM, only 1 AGM should be held. Hey, only 1 AGM can be held. Because that AGM is an annual event. Okay, how many birthday you have in the year? Every day you have birthday. Only 1 year. Like that AGM is 1. Because the purpose of that AGM, I think you are not understanding the purpose. Purpose is to pass the accounts. How many times you will do it in a year? You will close the accounts 2 times, is it? Only once now. So only 1. think logically, many of these questions are answered. What do you say? One, and it should be held once, at least once. Seriously, don't confuse yourself. Many students love to confuse themselves. Okay, they operate from confusion, not from clarity. Operate from clarity. Purpose of AGM is to pass the accounts. Accounts will be finalized only in once in a year on 31st March. Therefore, there will be only one AGM in that year. For that, the rules are given very clearly. No confusion. Okay. EGM, any number, it's your choice, yeah. But then, again, why will I hold an EGM? Am I a fool? It's a very costly exercise. Calling all the shareholders, giving them cash and pakoda, coffee, donkeys also, I'll ask questions and all that. No board of directors will want to hold more than necessary EGM. But where there is no other go, I have to get the decision of these donkeys on something, some resolution has to be passed, then I will have to hold an EGM. Okay. Otherwise, I will not. See, this is not, as I told you, a Rotary meeting or a Masonic meeting where we enjoy. We go for a social meeting. No, this is a statutory meeting. So why will I punish myself unnecessarily? Only when there is a need, I will call it. Madam, I have already explained it many, many times. Okay. This again word, if you use, I'll be very... No, don't be sorry, Pooja, but what I'm trying to say is, think. I will give an answer sometimes. If I sounded a little irritated, I'm sorry. But point is logic. Why don't you apply logic? Okay, first AGM is an exception to the 3 rules. Mukta, concentrate. First AGM is an exception to the general rule. Normally, normal AGM, other than first AGM, should be held within a period of 6 months from the date of closing of financial year. First AGM can be held within 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. Right? Normally, there should be a gap between 2 AGMs, should be 15 months. This is the first AGM. There is no previous AGM. So how will I count 15 months? Gone. Lastly, an AGM should be held once in every year. So every year there should be one AGM. That is what it means, Pooja. Every year there should be one AGM. Once in every year. Okay? One AGM, once in every year. Right. Now, think about it. This second exception will apply only in rare cases. Rather, anybody can tell me which company will enjoy this exemption of not having a AGM in the year of incorporation. All companies cannot enjoy this exception. If I give a numerical example, you will understand it. See, Abhiruchi Limited was incorporated on 11th December 2021. I have changed the name. It is picked from your own institute material only. It's not a new problem. It is there in your institute material. Abhiruchi Limited was incorporated on 11th December 2021. Certificate of incorporation date 11th December 2021. When should the company hold its AGM? What is the rule for first AGM? Simple. The first AGM should be held within 9 months from the date of closure of the first financial year. The company's first financial year will close on 31st March 2022, 11th December to 31/3/22. It will not be a full year. It will be a part year. Okay? That's how it is. We can't do anything about it. So 31st of March, I will close the accounts, audit it, and they will close the accounts. We will audit it, and 31st of March. From 31st of March 2022, you can hold the AGM within 9 months, which means 31st of December, April, May, June, July, August, October, November, December. 31st of December, they have time. Now, if they do that, the company was incorporated on 11th December 21. This company would not have an AGM in the year of incorporation. That is okay. They say in case the company holds its first AGM, as aforesaid, that is within 9 months from the end of the closing of the first financial year, then it shall not be necessary for the company to hold any AGM in the year of incorporation. For Abhiruchi Limited, the year of incorporation is 2021. So because it's holding its AGM within 9 months from the first AGM, it will not hold an AGM in the year of incorporation. It need not hold. Now, think. Would your answer be the same? This is not in institute material. I'm including it for your information. Would your answer be the same if you are informed that the company was incorporated on 11th February 2021? 11th February 2021. I want you to give me an answer. I'm waiting for any ideas. Any quick answers? And I congratulate Ms. Harshita Maurya for beautifully summarizing her learnings. In case all of you have visibility on the query pad, just copy paste what she's put there into your whatever you are using, Word document or whatever. Beautifully put, Harshita ji. Of course, your wording in the last one, of course, there can be a little, but it's okay. You're right. First AGM within 9 months from the end of the financial year. Thereafter, 6 months from the closing of the financial year. Thank you for summarizing your knowledge. Very rarely students do this. I have to see, just like sometimes I feel a little bad when students keep on asking repeat. When a student actually repeats her knowledge acquisition, I salute you. I'm happy. Mantanjali also does it occasionally. Puja also should try to do that. Summarize it so that if you are wrong also, Harshita, you are absolutely correct. Your understanding is correct. Correct. First AGM held within 9 months from closing, and the first AGM is the exception of the 3 rules. It is not an exception of all the 3 rules. Holding one AGM in every year rule will continue to apply, but you cannot. This exception, applies only for companies when they comply with that holding of a meeting within 9 months from the end of the first financial year. There, it may be that they may not hold a meeting in the first financial year. One meeting will not be there in the first year, not financial year. Okay. Now, one more thing, I've not mentioned it. Let me just mention it to you. How will I know whether the year is calendar year or financial year? I will come to that point. Let's go back to the answers are coming out beautifully. No, sir. As financial year closes 31st March 2021. Correct. If Abhiruchi was incorporated on 11th February 2021, you should hold your first AGM within 9 months from the end of the first financial year, which is closing on 31st. It's a short period, 11th February to 31st March 2021. Those accounts have to be adopted at the first AGM, which should be held within 9 months, meaning 31/12/2021. Okay. The financial year will be ending on 31st March, so 31/12. No, it is not the same date because 11th February, see the crucial point is 11th February. February is falling before 31st March. So from 1st January to 31st December, if you are incorporating a company also, such a company cannot enjoy this exemption of not holding an AGM in the year of incorporation. Why? Because their first financial year will end on 31st March of the year of incorporation, whichever year. And they have to hold the first AGM within 9 months from that. So they cannot enjoy this exemption. That is why here it says, where a company holds its first AGM within 9 months from the end, it may be that they may not hold an AGM in the year of incorporation. It is okay. That is what the law is trying to tell. That is why I gave this example to you. So some of you have understood it. Himanshu Gupta has got it. Whereas many of you are of the view that it will be the same, because this is not a universal exemption. This is an exemption for those companies which are closing the financial year in the next year. And from that day, they are holding 9 months. In those cases, they say you need not have a financial year. It is not be necessary for the company to hold. It's not saying shall not hold or need. It shall not be necessary. So this is not applicable to all first AGM. Okay, please wrap your mind around this concept. The only change I have made is 11th February. In fact, such questions will come in the examination. Would your answer be different or would your answer be the same? Like that. So I like that type of question because it makes you think in 2 ways. Always I will think only in one way. No. The CA student should be able to think differently. The same problem, you might look at it in one way. Before you give your answer, please read it again. Maybe there is another way of looking at it. Beautiful. I'm so happy that many of you, Akash Neil, Prabhas Chain, beautiful Prabhas. Then the year will end. I'm so happy. Mantanjali also got the point. Nalini maybe want to relook at her answer. Tanya Patkar, I'm so happy. So many of you. Beautiful. irrespective of date of incorporation, AGM has to be held. Pooja ji, it depends on the date of incorporation. Before 31st March or after 31st March. If it is before 31st March, then in the year of incorporation, you might have to hold one meeting. Maximum 31/12. But if it is beyond 31st March, then you have a problem. No problem. Because your first financial year itself will end in this next year. Okay. Coming back to the... absolutely. Even if no business is conducted, you have to see minimum balance sheet will be there. That has to be approved. You would have received some capital. You would have put it in the bank. Balance sheet is there now. P&L is not there, but balance sheet is there now. So you should have it is necessary to conduct an AGM. Even for 5 days, 1 day, you have to, on that 1 day only, you have to strike a balance sheet. If nothing is there, you have to report that there is nothing is there. Because in addition to financial statements, there are other matters also. Later on, when you come to auditors, you will understand that the first auditors are appointed by the board. But the subsequent auditors are to be appointed with members at the first AGM. They will hold office from the first AGM to the conclusion of the sixth AGM. So there, that first AGM becomes very important, even if there is no business. See, this topic of AGM is closely linked to accounts and audit. So don't think you can independently learn this subject. Or rather, once you learn this subject, remember to remember it when you come to accounts and audit. There, this knowledge will be. This will be relevant in auditing also. So, as an article clerk of a large multinational firm, you will have to be aware of the subject. Otherwise, you'll be talking. You will not know what others are telling, because if you know it, you can talk with a lot of authority. So this topic is linked with accounts and audit. Beautiful, Akash Neil, correct. When the word sirf, ear is used, ear, not ear. This is Khan. This is Khan. Kadu. We say Kadu. Kadu in Telugu is no. Whereas Kadu in Tamil is ear, which is Khan in Hindi. So, unfortunate, no, English is a terrible language. So, Y-E-R-E. So, when they use the word year, okay, it means calendar year. As rightly told by Akash Neil, calendar year means 1st January to 31st December. This is called the Gregorian calendar, international calendar, which we adopt in addition to the Saka era, which is peculiar to India, based on very famous king from Magad, I think, that side, Patna side, I think Shalivahan. His birth marks the year for us, Saka. Wonderful. Thank you, Mandanjali ji. And so this is it. But if they want it to be financial year, they will mention financial year there. So if in a section you find the word financial year, it means year beginning on 1/4, ending on 31/3. If in a section you find the word sirf year, only year, then it will be 1/1 to 31. So AGM should be held once in every year, meaning calendar year. Okay? Good. That is why, when I saw this example in the Institute study material, I thought, hey, let us copy it. But let us do a little twisting and ask whether this. So, correct. The answer for the second part would be 31st December 2021. Your answer will be different. Okay. Internal auditor, I don't think AGM. We'll check up. Maybe it's at the AGM. Yes, maybe internal auditor is also appointed. Can be appointed at the AGM also, definitely. Forget internal auditor, boss. Statutory auditor. My appointment, because I incorporate the company for the fellow. So if I don't hold the first AGM, that's all. I will not be appointed as AGM. I'm sorry. I will not be appointed as auditor, statutory auditor for 5 years. Yeah. So for that, I will insist. Boss, hold your first AGM, appoint me. For that, you have to hold your first AGM. Even if no account, nothing. It has happened for some of my clients where, we will incorporate. See, date of incorporation is not in my control now. They would have come in September. I would have told them. Then they go back. Meeting. Then finally, Mr. Srikanth, we want company. Once they come back now, they want it tomorrow, day after tomorrow. You came in September, then you kept sleeping. 3 months you waited. Suddenly, when I'm peak season, they will come. July, August, September, they will come and they will create. Sir, I want company. Mr. Srikanth, I want the company day after tomorrow. What you want is different from what you can get. So I tell them 1 month. Because of course, today with the MCA, it's not as bad as it was once upon a time. Today, you can incorporate a company in about 3 days' time. You upload it. Within 3 days, you get your 48 hours, you get your By and large, you get it. The problem is the name. If you clear the name, then everything else is only forms. So, in the financial year of incorporation of a company, don't use the word financial year, I told you now, AGM is held in calendar year. So, I will rephrase. In the calendar year of, I'll read your question first. In the financial year of incorporation of a company, it need not hold an AGM. Once incorporated, financial year ends, it has to hold AGM. You are wrong. I will correct you. Every company should hold an AGM in every calendar year. So, every calendar year, you should have one AGM. That is the basic rule. Right? First AGM exemption, 9 months from the closing of the first financial year. That is the only exemption. If you are applying that exemption, sometimes what can happen? Your financial year will end on 31st March. Now. So, depending on when you are incorporated, it will depend. So, if you are incorporated before March, your first financial year will end in this year itself. Which means within 9 months means you got only till 31st. But if it is beyond 31st March, then your first financial year will end on the 31st of March of next year. So that next calendar year only you can have your first AGM. In which case, even if you do not have your first AGM or an AGM in the year of incorporation, calendar year of incorporation, it is okay. This is what it means. Okay, got it? No, I am very happy. Your questions are welcome. Understanding the topic is important, but try to apply logic. Don't be illogical. Okay. Again, I have a feeling there could be language issue. I am speaking in English. So there could be a confusion. So I will try to make it as simple as possible, but still you will have to understand. Try to understand. I wish I could speak Hindi because then I could easily explain this to many of you. But then my Malayali, Kannada and Telugu friends will get unhappy. Forget the Tamilians. Yes, we are of no issue in this country. We don't matter for this country. So forget us. My Kannada friends will get angry. My Telugu friends will get angry. My Malayali friends will get. Possibly my Malayali friends can understand Hindi. I don't know. So which type of company will conduct AGM, madam? This is too much, madam. Every company other than OPC. This is how we began this topic itself. Madam, don't do this to me, madam. Every company, public, private, listed, unlisted, except 1% company, every company. So, where is your doubt about this word every? You will refer to the dictionary. Refer to the dictionary on the word every. Every person should attend tomorrow means who will come? Everybody should come. Okay? Got it? Sorry, don't mistake me for reacting like that, but then problem is you are not concentrating. You are all so busy thinking of questions to ask, you are not listening to the topic. You are so busy getting confused, you are not getting clarity. So if you only sit back, relax and listen to me first, many questions will not be there in your mind. But the minute one topic is told, you are cooking. In fact, my Professor K. Santraman used to humorously remark for one student, in the class, she used to keep on asking questions. That was in a B school. We used to go to a B school where Professor and I were taking law to the MBA program of a leading B school in Tamil Nadu. And one girl will keep asking doubt. So, Mr. Professor K. says, my guru used to say, madam, you have a question for every answer. You say, you have a question for, even if I give the answer, you have a question for that. Thorough. I mean, this is not to make fun or to hurt you, far be from me any such intention. But I'm saying, no, just joking. Don't take me, don't get angry and all that. Relax, aram se. Calm. All is well. Okay. Time and place for holding an AGM, section 96.2. Time and place. Now we were seeing rules. Now we are going to time. When it should be held? It should be held during business hours. So they have said 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. on any day that is not a national holiday. Means national holidays are announced by the central government. So national holiday means and includes a day declared as national holiday by the central government. So the central government declares national holidays and, right? That you can refer to the Google, you will get the list of national holidays, including my birthday, 26th January 1966, my birthday. So point is, see, these are all National Republic Day for you, those of you who may not know. Okay, there is a day, a Republic Day, when India became a sovereign democratic republic. We got our independence on 15th August, but we became a sovereign democratic republic on our constitution, etc. and all came on the 26th of January, 1947. Okay, I was born on that day, so happens. Okay, so these are all national holidays. You cannot have a meeting, an AGM on a national holiday. I'm repeating, you cannot have an AGM on a national holiday. Only you come to EGM, you will see EGM can be held on national holidays, but AGM cannot be held on a national holiday. The AGM should be held either at the registered office of the company, or it may be a small place at some other place within the city, town, or village in which the registered office of the company is situated. Friends, this rule is based on the presumption of the law, an ancient presumption that members of a company will reside in the same geographical area. So they say AGM being an important meeting where every member should be able to attend, you should hold it either at the registered office or at the same place, like within the city, at some other place within the city, town, or village in which the registered office of the company is situated, right? But in my humble view, this is meaningless today. Geography is today history. I am sitting in Chennai, right? You people are all in different places in India. Maybe some of you are even in Nepal, Kashmir, wherever you are listening to me. So, of course, this is now recognized by the law. And today, virtual AGMs are possible. During the pandemic, Reliance was the first company to Reliance held its first virtual AGM. Means members can attend in Mumbai, but other members can log in through the web and attend the meeting virtually. So the virtual meeting was done. But the physical meeting called AGM should be held definitely. And that has to be held at the registered office or in the same city, town, or village in which the registered office of the company is situated. Now, this is for an unlisted company. They say AGM of an unlisted company may be held at any place in India if consent is given in writing or by electronic mode by all the members in advance. So all is a very important. Here only they are asking for unanimity. You are an unlisted company. You want to hold your AGM at a place other than the registered office or same city, town, or village. You have to send a mail to everybody, wherein you should ask them to fill a form online or maybe in cloud or whatever. So you can even send a, opinion poll, that monkey is there. You can send that Google form to them and ask them to fill it up. It is proposed to hold the AGM at our registered office is situated in Vadodara, Gujarat. But for the convenience of all the members, it is proposed to hold the AGM at Ahmedabad. Hope you guys are okay for it. If you are, then put tick against yes. If not, no. And apply and submit the form or reply to the mail. If all the members send it, then, but this is applicable only to an unlisted company. Listed company should have it in the registered office, etc. Okay. But I seriously don't see the point. Actually, listed companies should be permitted to hold it other than, because many listed companies, their registered office is situated not in a metro city, but in a remote village where they'll have the factory. I'm not joking. Many nefarious promoters, they misuse this provision. You know how? He will hold the AGM in the remote village where the main factory is situated. For want of confidentiality, for need of, I will not tell the name, but there is some remote village, some place, okay, Vikrampur, and you're in the middle of Madhya Pradesh somewhere. God only knows where, boondocks. Of course, he's built a factory there and it's giving employment to those people, backward area. But that is good. But members are in Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Pune. You say come to Vikrampur, because that is where the registered office of the company is situated. You have to go. Nobody will come. That is the whole point. Nobody will come for the AGM. Nobody will ask any question. Only the requisite quorum will be present. Mostly there will be known people, promoter group, and employees. Employee shareholders will be there sitting, raising their hand that's all. Like that, I have conducted an AGM for a company in Chennai in 2005. I have conducted means I was auditor. So the company MD said, Srikanth, I'm very afraid of AGM. They have taken money. I went for an IPO. Company was not doing very well. People will ask me question, what to do. I said, don't worry, come. So we held it on a huge auditorium. They were a leather manufacturing company. Nice wallets we made, about 500 wallets we made, and we kept it. And we had a nice sweet box, and we provided a good tiffin. We had the AGM at 10 a.m. in the morning. Huge auditorium. And people came. They stayed away. They'll go to the registration desk. They will give their folio number, registered folio number, membership register link. Then we will, the manual system. At that time, no dematerialization. So we'll immediately see if their name is there. They will sign in the attendance. Then we will tell them, please go into the hall. No. Where is the tiffin? Where are you giving tiffin? So we'll go for tiffin. Then he'll collect sweet box. Then he'll give the person, he'll go away. They collect the person, he'll go away. He won't stay. Some people will tell, sir, today I'm having 3 AGMs. Because in the peak AGM season, around September end or August, September, every company will be holding an AGM. So these fellows' job is one company to another company AGM, they'll go. Nothing to do. Retired people, simply going. So they will all come and they'll go away. Finally, the huge hall, only 5 people are sitting, 6 people are sitting. At that time, the quorum, we will be seeing quorum later. Quorum was only 5 members personally present, even for a listed company. Not dependent on number of members. So 5 or 6 employees were sitting in the second row, promoter group in the first row. We were all sitting in the dais, huge, all empty. But attendance, 600 people. In fact, there was a huge problem for purse and all that. Then we resolved it. We said, don't worry, it will send by courier. We send it by courier to them. Okay. Sorry, this may again be classified as useless, but it's very practical. I remember. In fact, I can write one whole chapter of my autobiography on the AGMs that I have attended and conducted. Okay. And very funny incidents are all there. Chalo. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Anugupta. Thank you. Pooja, don't get angry with me and just joking. Okay. Independence Day, Republic Day. Oh, very good. Congratulations, Mr. Nagaraj. AGM be held on Sunday? No, during business hours. So if Sunday is a holiday, you cannot hold it. But actually, it's a good question. Suppose you are working on Sunday. If your business hours are on Sunday, you can. Okay. Good question. Sunday, if it's a working day, you can. Because Sunday is not a national holiday. Very good question. Even I actually have a doubt on this, Ankurji. Best thing is I'll consult a company secretary, because those fellows, they will mug up the MCA rules and they will only, whatever, if MCA says bend 2 times backward and come, they will bend and come. They will obey. Unlike chartered accountants, we will question the CBDT, we will question the government and we will say you are wrong. Company secretary never. Hanji, Achaji, we will do it, whatever. Stupidly they'll say something. No, these fellows will do that also. When sometimes I'll ask these company secretaries, why are you doing it? What is the logic? Sir, ours not to question why. Ours but to file and die. We'll file. Whatever nonsense they ask me to file, I'll file. If they tell me to come 2 times bending backward also, I will go. Because law, that is the law. So sometimes, as a chartered accountant, I will question the law. Because when an order is passed under 147, which is patently unjust, I will go to the High Court. I will file a writ petition and get an order quashing the order. Yeah. Like that. So that, no, sir, government and all wish. What government? Government also is subject to the Constitution of India. It is not as if government is God. It is not as if an IAS officer is a God. It is not as if a director is a God. He is a human being. Okay, the president only appointed him. The president himself is elected by the parliament. The parliament is elected by us. We the people. So and the court is meant to protect my fundamental right as a citizen of this country. If that is not done, then what is the point? So never be afraid of a bureaucrat. Provided you have understood the law correctly. If your knowledge of law is weak, then you are in deep shit with the bureaucrats. But if you are thorough in law, then you can take the bureaucrats for a ride. I have done it many times with the department, income tax department. See, this is the law, boss. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. No, Srikanth, it's like this, it's like that. Come on. What am I doing wrong? No, you are not wrong, you go. So, like that. Good question. Okay, some of the views expressed herein are the views of the teacher and not the views of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India or the Board of Studies. Okay, disclaimer given. Reason is, I am an independent professionally. I am a chartered accountant in practice. That is one of the greatness of being in practice. Okay, I am independent. I am an independent professional. Within the framework of the Institute Code of Conduct, I have to operate. So long as I am within the Code of Conduct, I can have an opinion and I can express my, I am an expert. This is not telling you that arrogant I. When you become a member, you will be an expert. You will be considered as an expert by the country, by everybody. Believe me, the minute you say you are a chartered accountant, no, the type of respect that will come to the eyes of the other person, whoever it is, when I'm traveling on a train or when I'm traveling, especially when I'm flying or when I'm in a party or in a social occasion, I say, Mr. What do you do, son? I'm a chartered accountant. Oh, you're a chartered accountant. See, as if, that's something great. It's worth it. Wow, that's good, Pooja. Thank you. Beautiful statement. See, you have educated us. If I ask, I'll be a fool only for this moment. If I don't, I will have to remain. Wow. Salute. You are a great person, Pooja. This comment needed a lot of, strength. Only a strong person can make this comment. Beautiful. Looking forward to more questions from all of you. Don't worry. Okay. Right. Now, time and place for holding an AGM, there are exceptions to this. In case of a Section 8 company, you know what it is, no? In company which is not engaged in profit activity. The time, date and place of each AGM are decided upon beforehand by the Board of Directors, having regard to the directions, if any, given by the company in its generality. So, the Section 8 company can hold its AGM based on the time decided, place decided by the board. But if the members have already given a direction, they have to obey. Otherwise, the board has a discretionary power regarding time, date and place. But date also, please, Section 8 companies cannot violate these 3 rules. These 3 rules are applicable to Section 8 also. But within the framework of the 3 rules, if a Section 8 company wants to hold an AGM at a date, they can fix. Holiday they can have. National holiday they can have. Provided, so exemption for Section 8. Similarly, government company, the central government may approve a place other than the registered office or some other place in the same city, town or village. The central government, for example, there may be the government company where majority shares are held by central government and some state governments and all that. In which case they will say, hey, we can't come all the way to your company. Let's have the AGM in our directorate itself in Delhi. So you guys come to Delhi. So central government, for many reasons, they will say, it's easier for the minister to come. It's easier for the undersecretary to come. So you please come here. We'll have the AGM. After all, how many people will attend the AGM? Yeah. There is only, central government is 1 member, 2 state governments. So 3 people will attend. We'll see that later. The governors of these 2 states would have nominated 2 people. They would come. The central government would have nominated possibly the undersecretary. He will come. That is all. 3 people will attend. For that, I won't come all the way there. You guys come to. So the undersecretary might say, central government guy, come to Delhi. You 2 guys come to Delhi. And I think then they will even go to the minister room and say, Saab, we had the AGM today, Saab, for such a company. I hope you are happy. Then they'll come back. So, the above mentioned exception shall be applicable to a Section 8 company or a government company, as the case may be, only if such company has not committed a default in filing its financial statements or annual return. Annual return we'll be seeing as part of this topic. 88 to 95, we'll see that. Annual return. 137 we'll see when we come to accounts. So every year, compulsorily the financial statements are to be filed with the ROC. The annual report or annual return has to be filed. If there is any default by any of the Section 8 or government company, they cannot enjoy the exception. Okay, I'm going to give you an important concept now. The minute you see exception for Section 8 company or government company, the minute you see exception for Section 8 company or government company, please note this exception can be enjoyed. This exemption can be enjoyed only if that Section 8 company or government company has not committed a default in filing financial statements or annual return. This is common thread. Whenever you see an exemption for Section 8 or government company, even if by chance I have forgotten to put this point, it is there. The exemption will be applicable only if the company has not committed a default in filing its financial statements and annual return. Got it? So this one line, if you mug up now, this will be useful to you in any context when you are saying Section 8 company, immediately add the corollary. Or government company, immediately add the corollary. Okay? So once if you remember it. Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Thank you for some of your nice words. It's nice to have that. Sir, it is incorporated on 15th April. It will not be in same calendar year. Yes. 15th April, what will happen? The first financial year will end on 31st March 22. So it can hold within 9 months. So in the year of incorporation, no age. That's all. Okay. Hey, don't put so many question marks here. Frightening. Or maybe it's slipping, is it? Something like that. Sir, if it is incorporated on 15th April, it will not be in same provided time period of 9 months. Correct. You have again typed it out without the question. Yeah, I have answered your question. Sir, if it is in, again, okay, maybe some problem. Can AGM and board meeting be held on same day? Why not? Enjoy, have it. Same star hotel. Okay. But then, which board meeting? The board meeting for approving the accounts and all cannot be held on the same day, boss. It has to be held because you have to give notice, not 21 days notice. So the account should have been signed before that. So that meeting cannot be held on the AGM day. Some other meeting, board meeting, if you want to have it. But not that meeting. If you're talking about the board meeting for approving the accounts, etc., no. That has to be held before. No, AGM can be held on Sunday. No, AGM can be held on a Sunday provided it is a business day. See, the condition you have to satisfy is during business hours. Even if all the members agree now, I don't think they can hold a thing. This all member agreeing is only for unlisted company. Again, this all member agreeing clause is not for time. It is for place. For time, you have to hold it only during the business hours. If Sunday is a working day, you can. Okay. So this is my humble view, Ms. Harshita. So suggestion, no. This all member agreeing is only for place. So AGM cannot be held on Sunday if it is a holiday. It is not the business hours. No. It should be held only during business hours. Private companies, not all. So as and when it is there, I will tell you. I would love to say yes. Private companies also same exemption. It is there, but not in all cases. There are some cases where they don't do it. So don't take it as universal for private company. Section 8 and government company, I can assure you. Subsidiary of government company is a government company. We'll talk about it later. Maybe, I don't know, government company is there only in your final syllabus. So, just for your general knowledge, I'm telling you, subsidiary of a government company is a government company. Therefore, it is a government company now. It enjoys this. Okay. Rekha Kumari, how you people are all asking like this, I don't know. Yeah. It means other than Section 8 and government company, default and filing are allowed. No, that's a penal section. When I'm teaching you 92 and 137, I will teach you heavy penalties there. It can become defunct and all that. There are penalties for that. So, madam, I am giving Section 8 and a government company an exemption. And I am telling them, if you want to enjoy the exemption, you have to, should not be any default in filing. Don't extend this to other companies. We are talking only about Section 8 and government company exemption. They want to enjoy the exemption. Other companies do not have an exemption. Doesn't mean they need not file the annual return or, There is a very twisted way of thinking. Very twisted way of thinking. It's good. In a way, it is good for a chartered accountant to think like that. But too much if you think like that, no, you will put yourself in knots and you won't understand the subject correctly. Same question was asked by Mr. K. One Mr. K, he asked that earlier. That was actually, I was going to answer that question. Every time I'm forgetting. This is a good opportunity to answer that question. See, in a different context, he was saying, for private placement, he was saying, where the number of members exceed 200 and the private placement has been made, in case they pay the penalty, will the private placement be valid? No. Paying the penalty or fine will not validate the crime. You should correct it. Whatever offense is committed should be corrected. By paying a penalty or a fine, you cannot justify the offense. No. Fine is not a fee paid for committing an offense. Fine is a punishment in addition to not doing it. Okay. So you cannot argue, sir, I will not file annual return and balance sheet, sir. I will pay the fine. Sorry. Prosecutable offense. You'll have to. It's a deep shit. One company that I know, they are not filing 271 under 271B tax audit report. They are not filing it. There's a penalty of 1 lakh. They are saying I'll pay the 1 lakh. But still, not filing the tax audit report is a prosecutable offense. It's very, very difficult. It's more than a fine, it's also a prosecutable. Consistently, knowingly, if you don't do something, it depends. So these penalties under the Companies Act are not permission for not doing something. It's not permission for not doing something. If you don't do something and pay the fine, it doesn't mean that is correct. Okay. Similarly, the convoluted logic given by Ms. Rekha Kumari, please don't apply it. That, see, when we are talking about Section 8 and government company, we are saying there is an exemption for them. If they want to enjoy the exemption, there should not be any default. That is all. This doesn't mean normal company other than 8 and government company need not file. Nothing, not like that. One thing is that, see, these guys are allowed to hold it at a time, date and place other than the prescribed, etc., or place other than the prescribed for government. That exemption alone, they can enjoy only if this happens. Okay. Because I'm holding my AGM on correctly, doesn't mean I can default in filing 92 and 137. Yes, 96.2 is an exemption, not 96.2. Sorry. No, that's a little bit of confusion. Sorry, I will. No. See, this is a broad heading I have given. Actually, this is an exception to 96.2. 96.2 deals with time and place, date and time and place. This is an exemption to Section 96.2. The exemption is given in a separate circular notification. I have not mentioned the notification here, not necessary. See, you are finding it difficult to remember even main topics. So don't waste your time remembering notification number, date and all. See, when a notification number or date will be relevant if it's new. And if it's something that you are quoting to support your view. So at that time only all this notification. See, these are all well-known notifications. Everybody knows it. So there is no need for you to remember and quote it in the exam. These exemptions are given through a notification. Okay. So the notification is exempting these two companies from the operation of Section 96.2 in the way in which they are doing. No. Other companies, there is no board ka discretion at all. Section 8 company board has a discretion. That discretion is subject to directions, if any, given by the company. Okay. In the case of a government company, central government can decide the place. Correct. Mr. K. Welcome, sir. So to answer your old question, now only I am answering. You can't pay the penalty and then regularize the private placement. The private placement is illegal. It has to be refunded. Money has to be refunded as per the rule. In addition to that, you pay the penalty. By paying your question was the members exceeded 200 and completed all the penalty. After that, it can do private placement? No. You have to comply with the rules of private placement. Non-compliance, you are paying the penalty. Doesn't make it all right. Doesn't justify or doesn't clean the event. So this is a generic principle I am suggesting to all of you. Again, I am also not insensitive to the fact that you are all attending the intermediate class of the institute. So you are all almost, and I am sure at the CPT level or whatever BCom level, the way you were taught the subject was pretty much pedantic, where the teacher was more interested in helping you to clear the exam or become a graduate and be happy with it. So teacher also escaping, you also escaping mode. Some things are, I want to clear the exam. But once you come to intermediate level and all, you cannot be like that. And finally, when you come to final level, your knowledge should be deep knowledge and application level. Both are combined here. Deep knowledge. Which is why I'm saying, first you understand the principles. Then you go for the exceptions, rules, questions and all that. Only a student who has understood the principle can ask questions correctly. Okay, so ensure that you have understood. And I think many of you have understood this very correctly. So now we go on to power of tribunal to call an AGM. Tribunal can call an AGM in certain exceptional cases, right? Tribunal, when can they call? What is it? This section is about the power of tribunal to call or direct the calling of a AGM. When they will do it, if any default is made in holding the AGM of a company under section 96. See, this will happen in these cases, extraordinary cases there, where in fact, my father had this experience that he said that the man, he formed a company with his wife. So only two members, Mr. A and Mrs. A. Unfortunately, due to some reason, Mrs. A died. So Kanta Viyogaha, so he's suffering. So he came, my father gave him comfort. And then he said, "Sir, how to hold AGM, sir?" Because only one member. Because he becomes a legal heir. So he is only one member now holding both the shares. That itself is wrong because it's not a one person company. But of course, he's holding those shares in a legal capacity, but still how to hold the meeting. Physically, member should attend in person like that. Okay. So how to hold it? Now, in those days, there was a lot of confusion. So my father told in very simple terms, he made him understand, boss, what is your problem? Wife is dead. 6 months over. You are no, what to do? You get married again, man. Create one more member. That's all. No, sir. So technically, you explain that. So this is what the idea. Why I not hold AGM? Because I don't have another member like that. Chalo. Then there's a solution now. You want to hold the AGM? Number of members is not there? No problem. Go to the central government. This is not the only reason. See, the board of directors may not hold the AGM at all. The board of directors are rascals. They are not holding AGM. We are members, 100 of us. We don't know what to do. We want AGM at which we want to do something. We don't want this company to become defunct. Or there may be a minority group which is controlling the company, not doing anything. And the majority group may want to hold the meeting and regularize the affairs so that they can go forward. Maybe operational and mismanagement case is going on when the RD is coming and telling, sir, this company is not even holding AGM, sir. So immediately the applicants go there and say, sir, what can we do? They are not holding it. Then the central government will now get the tribunal will now get the power. You say you make an application under this section. So there are many reasons why there could be a default in holding AGM under 96. Once there is a default, an application can be made by any member of the company. Please note, any member, even a single member can make an application. Notwithstanding anything contained in this act or the articles, whatever we learned earlier, not applicable. One member can make an application and say go to the tribunal and say, under this section, the company is not holding the AGM or we are unable to hold the AGM, therefore there's a default. Then the tribunal will hear the matter and direct the calling or direct the calling of an AGM. See, if the number of members is not said, there's only one director. No, one director cannot call a meeting. He cannot have a board meeting also. So the tribunal will call a meeting itself. And at that meeting, he will appoint directors. All the whole life will start again. Right? In addition to the main direction to hold an AGM or calling an AGM, the tribunal may give such ancillary or consequential directions. See, to do something, I have to do something earlier things, those are ancillary or consequential. Before doing something, if to achieve the main object, I have to do some things. These are called ancillary. Correct? I am a practicing chartered accountant. Main goal, practice. But ancillary goal, eating, sleeping. Because without eating and sleeping, how I can live? Without living, how I can be a practicing chartered accountant? Many people think, they won't sleep, they don't eat, only smoke and drink tea. And why are you doing all this? I want to earn money. Main goal. But some ancillary goals are also equally important to maintain the main goals. Right? Or consequential. Once the event is over, as a consequence, you have to do certain things. Follow. So they will give directions for that also as they think expedient. Now, very, very important. This is what you have to remember. When the tribunal is giving a direction under 97, section 97, this section, when the tribunal is giving a direction, one of the directions could be, such directions may also include a direction that one member of the company present in person or proxy shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. one member of the company present in person or by proxy shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. This is called one-man meeting. Sometimes in those days they used to ask, what are the circumstances when one-man meeting is possible? One-man meeting means one member. So when I gave an example now. Wife died or other shareholder died, only one member now, unable to hold AGM. He's going to the tribunal. Tribunal says, hold. Sir, I'm one man, how will you? One member is enough. You form a valid quorum. Hold. First meeting will be held by that one member. Sir, I'm in England, I'm in America, sir, what can I do? Hey, appoint a proxy man. Proxy is a person who attends the meeting on behalf of a member. I repeat, the word proxy, I'm explaining in a very small way now. Simple. So it will understand what it is. But one whole section is there on proxy, which we will see. 104. We'll see thoroughly when we come to that section. Proxy. Basically, a proxy is a person who attends the meeting on behalf of a member. So, he's an agent. I cannot go, but I want to vote at that meeting. I can send a proxy to vote. Proxy represents me as a member. But so on and so forth. We'll come to that. Don't go too deep into it. Sir, what is proxy? I have explained proxy. Then don't ask question on proxy, because when I come there, I'll explain it in detail. Okay. Got it? So, one member attending in person. Person means in person, on his own. He goes. Proxy means he sends somebody as his agent. Whether in person or through agent, shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. Deemed. Minimum you need 2 people to meet. But here deeming. In fact, my guru used to explain how one-man meeting will be held also. How you know it will be held? Very simple. It's not so, it is not as if you have to go there, then you will call the meeting to order, elect yourself to the chair, and conduct the agenda, and then give vote of thanks to yourself. No. What will happen is, see, after all, what is the purpose of a meeting? Think. That's what you have to understand the principle, then only you understand. Why am I going through all this process of meeting, to eat cashew nut pagoda and socialize with you? No. To pass a resolution. So that is what will happen. That one man will come to the appointed place at the appointed time, along with the attorney, lawyer, or a witness. Then there will be an affidavit. On a 20 rupee stamp paper, there will be an affidavit. In that affidavit, it will be said, I so-and-so, member of so-and-so company holding so many shares, hereby confirm that a meeting of this company was held on such and such a day, such and such a place. I have attended in person and I have passed the following resolutions 1, 2, 3, 4. Resolve that. Then I certify that the above information is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Verification, sign, witness, notarize. That becomes a proof that the meeting was held, that the company has taken the decision. That is all. So that is the point of a one-man meeting. Okay. A general meeting held in pursuance of this section shall, subject to any directions of the tribunal, be deemed to be an AGM of the company under this act. So, the rule that there should be one AGM in every year will be satisfied in this way. Even though there is a default, you can make good the default. Right? Sometimes, you might adopt certain resolutions, finish certain matters, appoint director, appoint auditor, all that you can do. That is the purpose. Okay. See, Mr. Rupesh Bhimani has these cryptic comments that he keeps putting. So without context, it becomes very difficult for me to understand it. I have told many times not to do this, but still he will do it. Central government exemptions. What does it mean? 9 to 6. In what context you are telling? Subsection. I don't know. Some problem with your... I don't know. CG means RD. Yes. Central government, in many cases, which central government are you talking about? For this, here, this central government is not RD. No. This central government is the respective ministry. For example, if it is BPCL, Bharat, or some other oil company, or let's not go there. It will be coming under the control of some ministry. Public sector government companies come under the control of various ministries. So here the word central government is those ministries. Their respective ministry, not our MCA. I want to give a break. Nalini always needs a break. I think there's some personal reason for it. I appreciate. We will have a small break till 8:45. 8:45. Once we come back, I will explain the meaning of notwithstanding, which is used in, I think, this section. Okay. So we have a small break till 8:45. Some of you, welcome back from your well-deserved tea break, whatever break, coffee, tea, whatever you had. Now, some of you are asking questions on like words that I have used here. First is notwithstanding. Notwithstanding, you will know more about this word when you come to a topic called interpretation of statutes. Regularly, sections will use the word notwithstanding. Similarly, without prejudice and all that. Notwithstanding means one section will tell something. One section will tell something, some subject like this. And if that section is using the notwithstanding, it means that section is superior to other sections. For example, here, this particular section 97 is notwithstanding this provision of the power of the central government to call a meeting is notwithstanding anything contained in this act or the articles of the company. So when the tribunal is hearing the matter, somebody, if they stand up and say, see, the power of 97 is being used by the tribunal. At which point in time, somebody is standing up and saying, sir, 15 months gap between two AGMs, or tribunal will say, look here, 97, notwithstanding anything contained, including 96. So whatever is said in 96, you ignore it because 97 is superior to other sections in this act or your articles. So the word notwithstanding, when used in a section or in a provision, gives power to that section or provision. It makes it superior to all other. So it depends on notwithstanding what. So here it's notwithstanding anything contained in this act, meaning Companies Act 2003. So if there is any other view in any other law, this won't override. So this provision notwithstanding is called an overriding provision. When the word notwithstanding is used, it is overriding. How it overrides will depend on what it's notwithstanding what. Anything contained in this act, or sometimes they will say, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 2 of section so and so. That means very, very specific override. When there is a conflict between these two sections, I am superior, he is inferior. Straight away, the parliament is telling us clearly. So in interpretation of statutes, when there is a notwithstanding, then when two sections are talking about the same subject, which will be superior? The section which has notwithstanding will be superior to the one which does not have it. Got it? There's an absolute notwithstanding is there in one or two acts. Like, for example, Securities Contract Regulation Act section 8A, 7A is there. Notwithstanding anything contained in any other provision, in any other law for the time being enforced. So ultimate. That section is superior to all. Surface also has, notwithstanding anything contained in any other law for the time being enforced. So I call it as the fourth level overrider. But this is only this act and articles. Okay. I hope I have explained. Actually, I'm going into a topic which you should be learning or should have learned, which is called aforesaid means aforesaid, said above, earlier said, like that. We use it because we don't want to repeat it again and again. Okay. Aforesaid. So, Mr. A is going to come tomorrow at 9 a.m. The aforesaid gentleman will come by train. So again, I will say Mr. A, Mr. A. So aforesaid gentleman will come. So the word aforesaid. Hey, please don't keep on asking me. I'm not dictionary. You refer to the dictionary also, some words. So we use the word aforesaid because we already mentioned it. Now again, I'm not going to repeat it. I will say aforesaid. Right? Expedient is a nice word, which means, suppose you come to me, sir, we are all going for a tour. Okay. So how to go, sir? Do what you think is expedient. Means what? Do what you think is best. What you think is correct in that situation. I'm giving you power. So this section is empowering the tribunal to make such directions as it thinks are best or appropriate for the situation. So tribunal is being given a power to pass consequential or ancillary directions as it thinks best or appropriate for the situation. Expedient. Okay. Or necessary for the situation. Expedient. Okay. Good. Moving on from 97 to, sorry, this is not going up. I don't know why it's supposed to go up. Really bugged with this thing here. Yeah. Power of tribunal to call meetings of members. So 97 is the power of tribunal to call AGM. Whereas 98 is the power of tribunal to call Any other meeting. Friends, here I have a doubt. Even I'm having a doubt. I'm going to openly ask you that question. I'm not going to give an answer. I don't have an answer but I have a doubt. But let us come to that. So this particular section is giving the power to the tribunal to order a meeting of the company to be called. Any meeting. For AGM specific provision, when there is a default in holding AGM, you invoke 97. Any other meeting, also an extraordinary general meeting, the tribunal has the power under 98, section 98, to order a meeting of the company to be called, held and conducted in such manner as the tribunal thinks fit. See, this is the same meaning as expedient. In such manner as may be expedient. Instead, such manner as the tribunal thinks fit. So the tribunal is given power under 98. When, if for any reason it is impracticable to call a meeting of a company other than an AGM. Why other than an AGM? Don't ask me. You know it. Because AGM is covered in 97. Why other than an AGM? Because AGM is covered in 97. Other than an AGM, if you want to hold any other meeting, then you come to 98 and show or give proof that it is impracticable. Practicable, impracticable. I gave a simple example of impracticable. Only one shareholder, private company having two shareholders, one shareholder dies, only one shareholder is there. And he is also director. Board meeting cannot be held, notice cannot be given, nothing can be done, one man, what to do? So he goes to the tribunal and says, yeah, Swami, it is impracticable, I am one man, what to do? So then the tribunal will say, call. They will give the direction, call a meeting and hold it. At that meeting, you appoint one more director. And with that director, you do whatever you want. Like that, they will say. Okay. In fact, my father in that example, in addition to guiding him on company law, also guided him on marital counseling. Finally, that fellow married again. And he lived happily with children, grandchildren from second marriage also. Okay. So that is, he was also very happy, sir. Thanks to you. And not only my company is having regular meetings now, I am also happy like that. Okay. Of course, he'll put a photograph of his first wife, I'm sure, and every year they will, burn agarbatti and all. But then life has to go on, yeah. Okay, life has to go on, right? What do you say? That is my view. Sorry. So, if for any reason it is impracticable to call a meeting of a company other than an AGM, in any manner in which meetings of the company may be called or to hold or conduct the meeting of the company in the manner prescribed by this act are the articles of the company. So, while passing this order, tribunal will see the law. This Companies Act is giving you many rules for calling a meeting, constituting a meeting, conducting a meeting and all. But because of some practical or reasons, it is impracticable. Because of some genuine problem, it is impracticable to comply with those rules. Then you go to the tribunal and say, please, direct. So the tribunal say, in spite of all this, please hold. Like that. One of the main reasons why this will be invoked is, as I told you, when the number of directors goes down, they are not able to induct. You can't even hold a board meeting to appoint a director. See, even to appoint a director, I need a board meeting. For that, I need one more director. That one more director cannot be appointed by me. I have to call a general meeting. I can't call a general meeting because there is no one more director. Hey, how long you'll keep on circling? So you go to the tribunal. Tribunal will break the card and say, chalo. Even if you are one man, you hold. Which is why, the tribunal may give many directions. Ancillary or consequential directions as the tribunal thinks expedient. Same. Including directions modifying or supplementing in relation to the calling, holding and conducting the meeting. So they can give any direction. They can say, dispense with this, don't do this. You have to obey the direction, that's all. Now, one more thing is, Section 97, the power of tribunal to call an AGM can be invoked only on the application of a member of the company. Whereas, Section 98, the power of the tribunal is suo motu, on its own motion, without any application. The tribunal itself, see how it will do it, See, there may be some other matter pending before it, like an operation mismanagement matter will be pending. At that time, it will find one of the problem is this. So they'll say, call an AGM, man, finish it. So motu, on its own motion. Or on the application of a director. or a member of a company who would be entitled to vote at the meeting. So, suo motu on its own motion or on the application of director or member. So, if you can prepare a chart, distinguish between 97 and 98. First distinction, where there is a default in holding AGM, 97 will apply. In any other meeting case where it is impracticable to hold the meeting within the provisions of this law or the articles, who can apply? Their only member should apply and only then they can do. Here, the tribunal on its own motion can do, or on the application of a director or a member of the company would be entitled to vote at the meeting. Friends, the word member is wide enough to include preference shareholder also. Member is wide enough to include a preference shareholder also. Okay. So, tribunal may give directions, etc., making it easy. And such directions may include a direction that one member of the company present in person shall be deemed to constitute a meeting. Got it? So, here also they give the same. So, one-man meeting is possible under 97 or 98. Any meeting called and held and conducted in this, according to this section, shall be deemed to be a meeting of the company, which means any resolution passed at that meeting is valid. Got it? So, this will be usually done when some other proceedings are there, oppression, mismanagement, all. The tribunal will direct the applicants to say, hey, they are not holding EGM, no problem. I am now empowering you. You can call. In this manner, you call. Attend. Ensure that at the meeting, you pass the resolution and come to me again. Like that. So, this is an enabling provision. 97 and 98 are enabling provisions, empowering the tribunal to call, hold, and conduct EGM or call or direct the calling of an AGM. 97, 98. See, again, smart student, what they will do, they will study 97, 98 together. They are similar section. In fact, you notice now I am using the same format for my slide also. How, what, when, where, I am using the 5 W's and a H format. 5 W's and H. 5 W's, you know. Why, what, when, where, how. I'm sorry, 4 W's and H. Why, what, when, where, who, and how. 5 W's and H. Why, what, when, where, who, how. These 6 fellows are my greatest friends. These six fellows, why, what, where, when, why, what, when, where, who, and how. My 6 friends. With them, I have done so many things. By using them, whenever I had a doubt, I will ask what is to be done. When is it to be done? Who has to do it? Where is it to be done? How is it to be done? When all these questions are answered, almost the entire topic will be covered or subject will be covered. When I'm sending an email also, I'll be very careful. I will see that I'm testing it on 5 W's and H. Then my email will be complete. I will not miss out anything. I won't send another mail saying, in my earlier mail, I told like this, sorry, I forgot to mention, it is at so and so place. Because I would have answered where, that will also be included. Who, how, come directly or come at some, like that. Okay. Sorry, I know this is again unnecessary or useless information for you, but as a future chartered accountant, this could be relevant to you. Rupesh, how call all shareholders by written phone mail? I will tell you more, don't worry. That's a separate section, Rupesh. 101 is there. When we come to view, hopefully today I'll finish up to 100 and start 101 also. That is called notice. At that time, you will come to know about it. Mantanjali, I cannot do anything. I am showing the slide as it is. I cannot zoom out and all. So check out from your side what is the problem. If the tech support people in the institute tell me that I am doing something wrong, I will correct. Otherwise, as far as I am concerned, my slide is visible on my screen. So the same thing should be visible on your screen also. Check out. What is the meaning of suo motu? Suo motu means on its own motion, on its own initiative. Ms. Neha Murarka, I have now told you now, suo motu means on its own motion, without any application or without any request from anybody, on its own recognition, suo motu. These are called suo motu powers of people, authorities. Central government and all have suo motu powers. That is, they need not get any application from anybody or request from anybody. On their own motion or decision, they can do it. Okay, suo motu. Please write this down somewhere and keep it. There are many Latin terms that we'll come across in the course of your legal studies as a chartered accountant. Still, you go to finish final, Latin will come again and again. Latin terms will come and trouble you. So kindly don't get frightened by Latin terms. Make them your friends. Suo motu, mutatis mutandis, with such changes as may be applicable. Pro rata. These are all Latin terms. I already explained to you the historical background of why Latin is still used in law. Okay. Rupesh ji, you are still not understanding my problem. You are asking what AGM? Hey, what question are you asking, yeah? What AGM means? What do you mean? What do you mean? See, Rupesh ji, you have to seriously learn. I think your problem is English. So kindly put longer sentences. Make grammatical error, no problem. But write. I will try to understand your English, no problem. But if you write what AGM, I cannot answer. See, again, Mahanta ji, you want me to explain suo motu? I have explained it to you. What do you want me to do with suo motu? Suo motu, you have put suo motu. What do you want me to do with suo motu? You want me to explain? I have explained. Were you listening? If you have understood what is suo motu, just confirm to me that you have understood. So, yeah, I mean, we already have Aman Dwivedi saying suo motu is okay, Maganda. Milton Kumar, that's a very nice name. Milton. Suo motu is a Latin word, you're absolutely correct. Bah, explained ancillary and consequential, no. How many times I can explain, yeah? Ancillary means, for doing something, you have to do certain supportive activities, support activities. They are called ancillary. See, for a main company, industry, there will be ancillary industry, right? Supporting. If I want to manufacture automobile, I have to manufacture crankshaft, right? I have to manufacture axle. These are called ancillary. Any supportive or surrounding activity is called ancillary. The main purpose is to conduct a meeting. But in order to conduct the meeting, you have to give notice, quorum, etc. These are all ancillary. Consequential means once something is done, because of that, some additional things have to be done. Arising out of it, consequent to it. That is called consequential. So these directions can also be given by the tribunal. See, the tribunal will not only give one direction. We hereby order the company to, or we hereby order that meeting of an extraordinary general meeting of Dubakur Limited be called on such and such a day. Immediately the director will say, sir, I am only one director. How to call? You tell. Then immediately the tribunal will say, while calling this meeting, we hereby direct that the company need not hold a board meeting, and Mr. Vishwanathan, director, is hereby directed to send the notice calling the general meeting. This is an ancillary, like that. Got it? Then again, Vishwanathan will go to the tribunal and say, sir, I have to file the annual report. It is already too late. Chalo, notwithstanding anything. 97 is notwithstanding anything. Say, even though the due date for filing the annual report is over, we hereby direct that the annual report can be filed now. Mr. Vishwanathan is hereby directed to file the annual report, or the board of directors of the company directed to file the annual report within a due date given by the tribunal. That's all. So, I have explained to you in a very depth way. Please try to understand what I am telling. Again, don't tell stupid questions. And don't give me directions. You are not central government, you are not tribunal. Some students are, they will give directions to the faculty. Do this, do that. Stop talking useless. Continue and all. I will obey only tribunal or central government. I will not obey students. So don't give me directions. Of course, I understand what you are telling. No question is stupid, ma. See, you are intelligent, you are brilliant, you are the Albert Einstein nephew. I am not. I am an idiot. I don't know anything. I am asking a doubt. So this is a relationship between Guru and Shishya. Don't come in the middle. You are my student. Now you come directly to me. You have a question, ask me. If you want to share knowledge, please share it. But Never, any student who tells, don't answer such questions and all, I feel very sorry for them because, hey, why are you worried? See, that means you are irritated, you are getting impatient. That is a very dangerous quality. Patience is one of the important qualities of a great scholar. Worry. In everything, there will be some knowledge. Don't worry. Sometimes I use that tone that is not meant to hurt Pooja or to hurt anybody, but to just express my feelings. Yeah, that's all, nothing else. Okay, showing emotion is something that's very, very important. Many of you, once you become chartered accountant, you're always serious. I have never, CA means you should be very serious. No, CA can be enjoying life. You can enjoy your life. You can do whatever you want. Because I'm CA, no. What is it? CA means you are big kumba, you are big shot. No. You are an ordinary human being like anybody here. Right? You cleared the exam. Okay, you are a big shot. So, you are also a human being. Okay, don't forget that. Ever. Even after you become a member of our institute, don't forget. You are a human being. And as a human being, you will make mistakes. You are entitled to make mistakes. You are entitled to have fun. Everything. Okay? Nothing wrong. Chalo. Suppose there is any default in, complying with section 96 to 98. That is holding a AGM or whatever. Then, or in complying with any directions of the tribunal and all. Then, Aman, not only you, it's not only about you giving directions. That language itself don't use in this query pad. Instructing the faculty to do something. Never do that. That's, as a student, avoid it. It is more of a student behavior. I have never told the teacher what to do. I have trusted my teacher. Anantaraman, not only KSA, everybody who taught me, I trusted them. If they say something that is hurtful to me also, they are telling it only in my interest. If this belief is there, that person can grow in his life. But the minute the student says, you are a teacher, I have paid you money, teach, and you treat the teacher like a paid monkey doing a tricks, you are demeaning yourself as, this is not about Amanya. Aman, you are out. I understand your point. I absolutely take your point. Leave it. This is for everybody in this listening to me. Okay? Never do this. Teacher, you cannot, teach a teacher. Then he is not a teacher. Okay? You cannot be superior to a teacher. Even, see, sometimes in my college education, I've got professors who did not know the subject. I knew the subject. But even then, the Guru Sishya Bhava is there now. At that point in time, I'll say, Chalo, sir, see, this is the ancient tradition of our ancient country. Okay? So, become an American in your lifestyle, wear jeans and all. But in your mindset, continue to be an ancient Indian who will respect the teacher in the context of the teaching. Okay. Chalo. Good. Yeah, I understand some network. See, that means what you should do, if it is your network problem, you should not waste other people's time by asking me to explain again and again. Rather, technology has a simple solution for you. This is the video which is being recorded. Kindly watch the video again. Yeah, how long it will take? Fast forward it, come to that point, listen again. That's all. So don't worry. So when you miss something, don't ask me to explain it again. That is unfair. That is unfair to the other students. What do you say? Don't do that. I understand now. Technology ka problem. See, we are working in a very peculiar new mode. Yeah. We are working faceless. I don't see. In spite of that, I am doing my best to make it a personal experience for each and every one of you. But you have to help me by, sort of not doing this. What is it? Chalo. Default in holding a meeting of the company in accordance with section 96, 97 or in complying with any directions. So, where there is a default, you are not held the AGM or you have not complied with the directions of the central government. See, the tribunal is directing the board to call an AGM under 98, ordering it. They don't obey. Then for that, there is a penalty. Company and every officer of the company who is in default, fine up to 1 lakh. Company and every officer is in default also has to pay a continuing default. That is, tribunal has ordered, hold the meeting on such and such a day. Or on the 30th of September, you should have held the AGM. You have not held the annual general meeting, default. Then from that day, on that day, you have to pay a fine. On that day, you have to pay a fine of 1 lakh, up to 1 lakh. Then, for every day after that, okay, there is a continuing default, 5,000 rupees for every day during which the default continues. Got it? 5,000. That means into so many days. In fact, there is no upper limit here. Do you notice that? Usually for continuing default, they'll give an upper limit. Here, there is no upper limit, which is why if a company has not held its AGM, filed its annual return or financial statement within the due date on an every year, the penalty will be killing. The not holding AGM penalty is killing, which is why those companies, literally, they don't know what to do. They will prefer to keep quiet. Or else they have to go for compounding and all that, and all sorts of nonsense is there. I think this is too much. 5,000 rupees for every day. But then that is how it is. So that's why we tell all companies who come to us now, say, even if you are not able to pay my fees, it's okay. Pay it next year. But please pay the ROC fee and file your annual return. We see to it. Any company which comes, it's a package deal. I tell them, after the AGM is over, we have a panel company secretary. He will do it for you. Please get it done. Because tomorrow, if there is a default, there is a penalty, you will come back to me and say, you should have told me as the auditor like that. So I am total. So they enter into an arrangement by which they compulsorily have to, whatever cost you have to immediately do it. Because if you file now, the cost is less. If you don't do it, the penalty is impossible to pay. Okay. This is a report to be filed after the AGM. This is a purely procedural section. I'm going to quickly run through it. This section is applicable only to listed companies. Listed companies have to prepare a report about the annual general meeting. It is the report of the annual general meeting to be filed by listed companies in form number MGT 15. They have to confirm that the meeting was convened, held and conducted, etc. The company should file this return within 30 days of the conclusion of the AGM. Okay? With fees, etc. as may be prescribed. It's fairly simple. The report shall be prepared in the following manner. This report is in addition to the minutes of the general meeting. The report shall be signed and dated by the chairman of the meeting, if he is there. But if he is not able to sign, chairman is not able to sign, then any two directors, one of whom shall be MD, and company secretary also should sign. So either the chairman signs, because the chairman is the person who conducted the meeting. He has to sign and say this is what happened. If the chairman is not able to do it, inability, then two directors, one of whom shall be MD and one company secretary. So three people, two directors. If MD is there, then MD should sign. Of the two, one should be MD if there is there, and also company secretary should sign. In case chairman is not able to sign. Contents of the report, we'll quickly go through it. No need to waste our time. It is there in the Institute material. It is there in my slide. Read it at leisure. Day, date, hour and venue of the AGM. Confirmation with respect to appointment of chairman of the meeting, who was appointed. Number of members attending the meeting. Quorum is the minimum number of persons needed for conducting the meeting. Minimum number of persons needed for conducting the meeting. Listen to me. Quorum is the minimum number of persons required to conduct the meeting. In detail, we'll be seeing quorum when I come to quorum provision. The rules are there. As of now, what you should know, quorum is the minimum number of members needed for conducting the meeting. Minimum. So they have to confirm that that minimum number has come. Okay. Also confirmation of as to the compliance of the Act, secretarial standards, etc., which are mandatory now and all that. Also, the business transacted at the meeting and the result thereof. So you have to say, following resolution was proposed, it was passed, etc. Sort of, it becomes a public document. Particulars with respect to any adjournment, postponement of meeting, change in venue, if at all. Any other points relevant for inclusion in the report, something serious happened, you can include. The report shall contain fair and correct summary of the proceedings of the meeting. Okay? So this is the idea is for a listed company, what happened at the meeting is an important event. So the contents of the, what happened at the meeting should be filed as a separate report, right? This is 121. In a way, I'm jumping. 96, 97, 98, right? I'm jumping to, and then 99 we saw, penalty was 99. Now I'm jumping to 121. Only this particular report, 121, I'm putting it here. Okay. In case you don't file the report within 30 days, then fine of 1 lakh and further fine of 500 rupees for each day after the first. See, on the 30th day, you should have filed. Not filing on the midnight 30th day, fine, 1 lakh. After that, from the 31st day onwards, 500 rupees. Subject to a maximum of 5 lakh. So here they put a 5 lakh ceiling on that offense. So penalty is there. Also, the officer of the company who is in default, fine 25,000. Continuing default, he also has to pay 500 up to 1 lakh. If you are asking me a doubt, should company and officer also pay? Yes, both are liable. Company also should pay. Officer also should pay. Okay. Excellent. The time now is 9:21. We have time. So we have EGM, Extraordinary General Meeting, is a meeting that is held whenever there is a need. All general meetings other than AGMs are called EGM. Other than annual general meeting, which is one meeting every year, which is held, any other meeting which is held during the year is called Extraordinary General Meeting, EGM. Okay. So there are two ways in which EGM can be held. One, the board may, whenever it deems fit, call an EGM. Whenever it wants, it can call an EGM. It's up to the board, yeah, whenever they want. See, suppose they want to pass, when they will call again and again, not because they enjoy, not because they want to meet all the members and hug them and, no. They will call when they want to pass a resolution. There's no other go. We'll call these donkeys and propose a resolution and pass it. So nobody enjoys EGM and all. Don't think company will call EGM just like that every quarter and all. No way. If they will prefer to avoid holding any extra general meeting, one AGM over, okay. But still, if they want to have if the act says a resolution, for example, you want to amend your memorandum, change your object clause. You can't do it now. Board cannot do it now. They have to go to the members. How? Pass a special resolution. How? By holding a meeting. What meeting? Extraordinary general meeting. So the board may, whenever it deems fit, call an EGM for convenience. But the board shall compulsory call an EGM at the requisition made by the requisite number of members. This is a very, very important legal right of members to call and hold an EGM. Very important provision. Members have this right, democratic right. See, there are many things that have to be done, to be discussed. Members want to come together and discuss it. So they write to the companies, the board of directors, saying, hey, please conduct an EGM. We want to ask you certain questions. They are entitled to do it because they are the members. Okay, they are the owners. They want to have a meeting. They are asking the board. If they do it in accordance with this section, then compulsory the board shall call an EGM at the requisition made by the requisite number of members. It is called requisitioned meeting. Requisition means request. See, request is informal. Requisition is formal. When a requisition is made, it is formal, statutory. So the requisition is made. It's similar to request, but official. Send a requisition. In fact, in costing, you might have studied material requisition slip, where the production department is sending a requisition. It is a request only, but we call it requisition. That's all. Okay. Little formal. That's what it is. Otherwise, the same meaning as request. Kindly pass the salt. It's a request. I hereby request you to pass the salt. Requisition. Depends. Okay. When the board may, whenever it deems fit, call an EGM. It need not be during business hours, unlike AGM. EGM can be on Sunday, even during non-business hours. EGM can be on a public holiday also. Okay. An extraordinary general meeting of the company shall be held at a place within India. Okay. Sorry, I'll correct it because there are exceptions. That exception I have taken here. So normally, extraordinary general meeting of the company shall be held at a place within India. See, remember, AGM should be held at the registered office or same city, town or village. EGM can be held anywhere, but it should be within India. Anywhere, but within India. The EGM of a wholly owned subsidiary of a company incorporated outside India can hold it even outside India. This within India condition is not applicable to the wholly owned subsidiary of a company incorporated outside India. Right? So if you are an Indian company, but you are a subsidiary of a foreign company incorporated outside India, then this condition that the EGM should be held at a place within India is dispensed with. You can have it outside India. The reason is, see, some of your shareholders may be foreign company and foreigners. So the EGM can be held outside India. But AGM only in India, that to register office, same city, town or village. Okay. But I have a small view here. According to me, they can make the AGM also relaxed. They can have it anywhere in India within India like that. Why? Because what is the big deal? AGM alone, why only at the register office? Because in good old days, the shareholders used to come from the same geographical area. Today, geography is history. Therefore, I have a humble feeling that this section could be reviewed by the ministry. And they could actually free AGM also. That way making it convenient for people to hold. Anyway, but the AGM condition is such a boon for frauds. Because they will collect the IP, they will go for IPO, collect the money, enjoy, and when AGM, they will hold it in the remote village. And there they will say, I am doing it as per the law. The registered office of the company is in Vikrampur, in the heart of Madhya Pradesh. Somewhere, I am not saying anything about Madhya Pradesh, but I have traveled in Madhya Pradesh. So somewhere, from, Maheshwar or something inside, interior, you have to go. Okay? So, good. But then, how many people will come? So I don't know what is being, I don't know, when I go by my two pillars, protection of the investor and protection of the creditor, I really don't see a protection for my investor in this provision. AGM should be held in the same city, town or village. I humbly feel, if they say anywhere, there's a chance. Of course, even then these fellows will hold it in remote locations only. Maybe they should put a negative saying a company which has gone for an IPO or a listed company should hold it only in a metro city or in a major city, and not in some remote part. That's too much. Anyway, of course, as of today, as students of the law, I shouldn't confuse you. AGM can be held only at the register office or same city, town or village. Unlisted company, by getting the approval of all the members, can hold it in a place other than the same city, town or village or register office. EGM may be held anywhere, but it should be within India. But if it's a wholly owned subsidiary of an incorporated outside India company, then it can go abroad also. Similarly, a specified IFSC company, International Financial Service Center, IFSC, means International Financial Service Center. We already seen this, I think, earlier. These are companies that are serving foreign customers. So they will also be incorporated, subsidiary of a company incorporated outside India. But the point is, these IFSC companies are actually bringing foreign exchange in India, and many of them will be having foreign shareholders, whatever. So the board, but they may also have Indian shareholders. I'm only saying most of them would be foreign. But the company would be serving foreigners, and there will be a lot of foreign connection. The board may subject to the consent of all the conditions. Form MGT 15 is the format of the report. The format of the report is contained in Form MGT 15. This report, the report of the annual general meeting, the format is in MGT 15. For CA exam, you need not, it is enough if you remember the form number. The content of the report is also given in the section. That is why I'm covering it. Otherwise, I won't cover it. Okay. You need not know form and you not know the content of the form and all that. Okay. See, I told you not to ask this question you are asking. If company and officers are in default, then all are punished. Yes, yes, yes. All are punished. Both company and every officer in default. Okay. Sorry, I'm being a little too in today, but think about it. Because I know a student will have this doubt. That is why while giving this top point itself, I said. So I think two things are happening here. One, you are having network problem and you are missing my voice, or something is happening. Or maybe you're not concentrating on what I'm saying. Some buffering, I know what to do. Yeah. Not my fault. From my side, internet connection is extremely good. Sorry. Okay. Aman, no, you not. Nobody can make me angry. Sometimes, I am a person who shows my emotions easily. So sometimes when I'm talking, I'll be very excited while talking. But that is me. Okay, I cannot be, according to me, this is how it is. I'm not that type of a man. I am an emotional person. I show my emotions. Okay, that's all. Otherwise, I love you, and I would have. I'm sure you respect your teachers. Don't worry. This is not only for you, Aman. There are many people who give these comments. Stop talking unnecessary things. Stop telling useless things. Don't do that. It is not only aimed at you. It is aimed at many people who think if they pay, not you, Aman, not you. But there are a lot of people who think if they throw the money to the teacher should do whatever they say. No, that is not the way this country, our ancient civilization didn't come that way. Okay, so please, that way if you obey the ancient Indian traditions, you will grow. Whereas don't adopt this Western attitude of insulting teachers, treating teacher as an servant. Don't do that. It's a Western culture. America, you go, all these hoodlums will come into the school and college, and the professors will be, no. We are teachers in India. We are not teachers. We are guru. And as a guru, we know what we are doing. If you know better, you do whatever you want. But trust your teacher. This is not for you, Aman, not for you. For all the students all over India who may hear me, this is my message. Teacher is in this country, Mata, Pita, Guru, then only God. So I'm not claiming credit or greatness for myself. I am speaking on behalf of all the teachers. And I am speaking on behalf of my teacher also, whom I trusted. I will not tell Professor Antaraman what to do. Whatever he said. Sometimes we go to his class at his house. He will call for an oral coaching class. He will call us for giving a lecture. We will go to his house. That day he won't talk about this topic at all. He will talk about something totally different. We will patiently listen to him and come. See, this is the type of education we got. That day we will go with the eagerness that he is going to talk about winding up. But he will not talk. He will say, I am taking up this topic. No problem. Immediately our mind will gear up and come. See, that is too much. Expecting you people to come to that level and all, very difficult. But minimum, I am saying, don't write nonsense comment like, do this, do that, stop doing this. No. Okay, humble request. So this is a humble request to you. Don't take me otherwise. Maybe because you are all modern generation. I'm also modern. I'm more modern than all of you. Okay, but being modern doesn't mean letting go of our ancient tradition. That is not being modern. Being modern is using technology, using latest development in the world. That's all. Modern doesn't mean letting go of our ancient Indian civilization. No, that is not modern. And no great, fun in that. Okay, by doing that. Chalo. I'm very happy that I could make these comments today. The time now is 9:35, and let us stop here. Of course, this section is not yet over, but it needs a lot of understanding. So next class, we will begin with extraordinary general meeting on the requisition of members. Up to now, we have seen EGM called by board. Next class, we will study EGM called by requisition and then go on. Thereafter, we will get into notice, quorum, proxy, poll, the mechanics of a meeting. So next session, we will be doing sections dealing with the conduct of the meeting, etc., etc., etc. After finishing EGM, 100, section 100. I thank you for a wonderful participation, and I really enjoyed. And those of you whom I think don't please take me otherwise, Amanji or Poojaji, or you're all my favorite students. I love you people. And one day or the other, I want to see you as members of our institute. Hopefully, when I'm coming to that part of your country and you happen to bump into this donkey, just come and tell me, I'm so and so. I attended your class. I'll be so happy to see you and wish you. That is all. Okay. Thank you. Wish you all the very best. Have a great weekend. Let's meet on Tuesday, inshallah. Bye. Beautiful. हाँ हाँ, session over, sir. Thank you. Bye.